And for me, growing up in this lifetime as an Italian, you know, you pick what you want to be before you come. Okay, so I would say I picked Italian for the food. I got the guilt and I got the drama, but I got the food too, so I have to trade it off. So, being an Italian, you know, growing up was very like take care of your family. That was a lot of our belief system. You're the oldest boy, you have to do that and take care of your family. So that was my feeling going forward. I went out, I didn't go to college, I went right to work because I thought that was very important. And I was in a belief system, like probably many of you, that how many of you want to be successful? Anybody, right? So your belief system says if I want to be successful, I have to do certain things. So we're going to revamp your belief system tonight, by the way. So please be open to that. I'm not going to use any blunt or sharp instruments, but we're going to fix it up a little bit. So my belief system was, you go out, you work hard, you put in a lot of time and effort, you set your goals. And I was always, even though I didn't love school, I loved reading all those kinds of books, like Think and Grow Rich. How many of you read Think and Grow Rich? I read it 100 years ago. Right, all those kinds of books. So, and I'm writing notes, and I'm writing goals. Anybody do that? You write goals. Anybody get the thing where you look in the mirror and say your affirmations? Anybody do that? Get excited, all this kind of stuff. So I did all this stuff, and I'm getting excited, I'm yelling at myself in the mirror, whatever. Long story short, and I'm working like a crazy person. I'm one of those people. Like, you know, I'm going to work 900 hours a day. I don't care what it takes. I'm like a do whatever it takes kind of person. So I'm doing all that stuff, and I'm working really hard, and I'm knocking myself out. And by the time I'm 30 years old, I go through 2 bankruptcies. So I was a little disturbed about all that. Not, you know, obviously the money part is one part, but I was really upset because I said, I'm working so hard and I'm putting in so much energy and effort. Why am I not creating the results that I want? Anybody feel like that? So I said, well, obviously something that I'm doing is wrong. And I don't want to judge myself, but I said, whatever I'm doing is not working because I'm not getting the results that I want. So finally, out of pure desperation, I decide to sneak, and I'll use that word with a quote on it, sneak into therapy. And the reason I say sneak is because Italians from Brooklyn, that's not our thing, right? We don't sit around a dining room table and say, oh, you should go, how are your feelings? Right, so that happened. So I went to therapy, started doing that, I found it very interesting. I realized a lot of things. I started seeing the world in a different way, and it led me into metaphysical work and energy work, and I started to learn more about meditation and started to learn more about all these different concepts and principles. Now, I went to Catholic school. Anybody here? That's another seminar. We call it the Recovering Catholic Seminar. Tina, maybe we should start a meetup group. I think that's what we should do. We need a meetup group of recovering. Let me tell you, we'll have 15 rooms like this. Right? The Recovering Catholics across, it'll be like a world bus tour. We need to do that. So, write that down. I may want to do that. Bus? Recovering Catholic bus tour. Okay, we're going to do that. So, as I'm doing all this, I'm saying, wow, this is really conflicting with a lot of my religious beliefs because, you know, we had nuns, and, you know, the nuns were very strict, and, you know, they brought you in front of the room and hit you in the head with rulers and did all this kind of stuff and put your hand out and all these things that we were doing, and we were always being threatened that God was watching us and we were going to be struck down by lightning. Anybody remember that? Yeah, so, and we have an 18-year-old son. When I tell him this, he's like laughing in my face. He's like, you gotta be kidding me. He's like, what are you, crazy? So, but I said, this is what it was, and this is the way, you know, we learned it. We were very afraid of God. We were fearful. God was going to do something to me. God was going to strike me down. God was going to punish me. God was going to do something bad to me. So, as I'm doing all this spiritual work and as I'm moving myself in a different direction, I'm starting to say, wow, this is very different than what I learned growing up. This is very different philosophies, very different beliefs. And as I'm going forward, I meet different teachers. As you know, when you go on this journey, what's going to end up happening is you're going to meet different teachers, and you're going to meet the right teachers at the right time. You're going to bring the right people into your life when you're ready to hear those people. That's what's going to happen for you. So finally, after going through all these different things, I meet a woman who was an enlightened master. She had actually become enlightened. She had done, you know, like the Buddha. Regular-looking woman, whatever, but I met her through another whole series of circumstances. And she said to me, okay, Joe, she goes, I'm going to be your last teacher. And she goes, I'm going to teach you how to do something very powerful, but I want to tell you what your issue is and why you're kind of having all these ups and downs. She said, you have blocked chakras. I said, oh my God. Does anybody want to hear that? Because the only word I heard was blocked. I didn't know anything else. And I don't care how old you are, any guys in this room, do you want to hear that word? You could be 14. Blocked, what? So, I'm like, do I need a surgery? What do I do? So she goes, no, no. I'm going to show you how to clear this, and I'm going to show you how to go into your chakra system. I had heard of chakra, I didn't really know what it was. And so I'm going to show you how to go into your energy system, how to clear the negative energy out of your chakra system. When you do that, you're going to create a different vibrational field, different DNA coding, and then you're going to be able to create the life you deserve.